It's your girl, Astro by Lauren, aka your favorite mom in the club, the quintessential quadroon. Hey y'all, the quadroon ball is coming up at the end of the month. I don't even know what I'm gonna wear. Maybe I'll put up a poll. Let me know what color I should rock. But anyway, welcome to Galaxy Grillz. Today is Wednesday, February 12th, 2025. Alright, y'all. So today we have a full moon in Leo, and it opposes the sun in Aquarius, and it squares Uranus in Taurus. And it could be a little shake-up. This is a quick shake-up. You know, shake down. Some people may be in for a little bit of a surprise this week. It could just be that things are a little slightly unstable, or it might not even be that serious. It might just be like the schedule is a little off. For example, where I live, there's a lot of ice and snow this week, so the schools are opening late. There's a giant parade on Friday. I think if you pick up on the context clues, you might know where I live, but there's a giant parade, so the kids are going to be out of school on that day too. So it's really like, and it also was a surprise because at the beginning of the week, at the end of last week, no one would have known that it was going to snow on this day for sure. No one would have known that this parade was going to happen for sure, and it for surely did happen as a result of a win, a Super Bowl win. So congrats to y'all. Congrats to y'all and all your fans and to the city. I do love to see, I'm not from this city that I live in, but I do like when the sports teams here win because it makes people so happy, and people are not always happy here. I mean, it is always sunny here. Wink, wink, but people are not always the happiest. But this week, people are very joyful and elated, and it is a very full moon in Leo kind of vibe. So, yay! Congrats to y'all. Fly, Eagles, fly, and all that jazz. Yes. Alright, so for the mortals, for the regular people, the people that are not on cloud nine because of this win that occurred this week, just for everybody else throughout the world, and maybe people that are on cloud nine for different reasons, the full moon. A full moon in Leo is asking you to step into yourself, your individual identity, step into what makes you special, what makes you shine, what lights you up, but not just what lights you up, or what it is, the light within you that you share with the world around you. And so some people, this might come quite naturally, and maybe you already have Leo placements that you're comfortable expressing. For others, this is your cue. This is your time. Whatever's on your heart this week. Leo rules the heart, and the moon also rules the heart in a way. Whatever's on your heart, maybe to be more expressive, more creative, more affirmative in your stance, more confident in your actions or expressions. That is what you could be focusing on during this full moon. It also might have been a sudden thing that called you into the spotlight. So it might have been that you're camera shy, but suddenly you're asked to be the spokesperson for something, or do a TV spot, or give a speech that you weren't expecting to give. So any number of these things are a possibility. One thing about a full moon is they're not always the most comfortable of changes, of shakeups, but they're often quite necessary. So team, I've been talking about this on some of my other episodes, but I have been watching a lot of YouTube reactions and reviews to reality TV and also to pop the balloon. Now, I don't watch a lot of reality TV or a lot of TV at all, but I do listen to a lot of the reactions because I find it absolutely fascinating to hear the takes of so many different people reviewing the same human relationship type circumstance and all the various and variety, like the variety of takes that there are. I think it's really fascinating and really interesting. I do like to watch, reality TV sometimes. I'm trying to think of the last thing I watched. Was it The Ultimatum? I don't know, but Love is Blind is coming back, y'all. It's coming back on Friday, and I'm definitely going to be watching that. And my point is that I plan to do some breakdowns, some astrological breakdowns of our faves from there. So we don't know who our faves are going to be yet, but I did think it's interesting. They did the cast reveal for Love is Blind Minneapolis, and they did put the zodiac sign for each of the cast members. And I don't remember them doing this before. I feel like any other time I had to kind of do a little Google sleuth work or, Instagram research to try to figure out the signs for the cast members. But this time they had them up, and it was a couple of days ago that I read it, but I just know a lot of the women were in health care, but a lot of the women were like Virgos and like Geminis. I think there was a Capricorn. There's almost no water signs. And I just do remember for the men, there were quite a few Cancers and maybe like a Scorpio or two and a Pisces. And I just thought, just off the rip, just based off the sun signs, like, oh, here y'all go. I was like, we have these very emotional, men, and then maybe these like either very career driven women, or were some of them fire signs, fiery women, I want to say. But all I know is that there was a theme for the men and a theme for the women. And as the season unveils it, the season begins on February 14th. I'm definitely going to watch the show, of course, and then review the signs and see if I can get the exact birthdays for pertinent cast members. And I might even reach out. I might even slide in some DMs to try to get some birth times. I don't know. So we'll see. I think it should be really fun. I've done it before, but I didn't go all in. But this time I'm ready. I'm going all in. Maybe it's the full moon in Leo or something that's just encouraging me to really dig in and show the world what I'm good at, which is astrology and doing these reads, amongst other things. It's not like I can't do other things. I do many, many different things. I'm actually an artist by training. Okay. Just getting my Leo on for a minute. But the point is that I'm going to dig in. I listen to or watch so many different reviews about reality TV that it's time for me to put my hat in the ring in a serious way and give my take on things from my perspective, which is from a more spiritual perspective or an energetic perspective or an astrological perspective. So yay, if you watch Love is Blind, then we can do this together. And feel free to let me know who you want to hear the breakdowns of first. Right now, we just have the cast reveal, which is like a really short bio, so we don't even know who is going to make it through the pods. But the season releases on Friday, so let's get it. All right. Speaking of astrology and reality TV, there's another show called Married at First Sight. Now, I'm not going to say I never saw the show. I might have watched 1 or 2 episodes since I started listening to the reviews, but I listen to the reviews almost religiously because they're just so fascinating. Who do I listen to? So it's a group of people. I think it's Black Book 91, El Cid, Seaway's World, Sean Davis, Easton, I can't remember his name. So it's a group of people that do a breakdown on Thursday nights, and I watch it on it's called Little Black Book 91. Maybe I'll put the links down in the comments. But so I love to listen to this breakdown on Thursdays because it's so many different perspectives and so interesting. Just to hear this discussion on relationships and marriages, and it's really just a good time in terms of learning about the humans. The show itself, I mean, I don't know. Would I watch it normally? Like, probably not. I mean, I guess I never have, so I'm not saying I never will. But the breakdowns are really giving me life. There's also another YouTube channel called It Takes Two. They're called the It Takes Two Show. It's a couple, Chris and Blair, and I love them too. The only thing is that most of the breakdowns I listen to, a lot of them tend to be very anti-astrology. And so the It Takes Two show is very anti-astrology. And I understand. Well, here's the thing. I don't argue with skeptics because, just in general, because I don't care if you believe in astrology or not. It's the same reason I don't argue with atheists. And not all atheists are argumentative, by the way, but those particular ones that want to argue about it, like, I am so cool on that, because it's like, listen, if you don't believe that God exists, then why do you want to argue about it? Like, that's crazy. Why would I do that? And it's kind of the same thing with skepticism about astrology, because most of it, I would say 98% of it comes from a lack of understanding about how astrology actually works. So the dislike of the cultural lexicon of astrology, like ooh, you are Aries, I can't mess with you. Like, a lot of people that dislike astrology, it's because they don't exactly know how astrology works. They just know how it works in popular culture, which is always kind of like making broad-based assumptions of people based off of like what day they're born and that kind of thing. And that's just not even how astrology works. So what they're really disliking is the assumptions and the judgment. And I can get on board with that. I'm not going to lie. I do get a little bit disappointed, not in my reality TV breakdown reviewers, but I do get disappointed in sometimes when I hear people just talk really, really scathing or nasty or crazy about astrology, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, for example, talking crazy about astrology. And it's just like, the only thing you're telling me by talking real greasy and angry about astrology is that you are just not that, it's not that you're not smart. It's just like, you don't know what you don't know, and you obviously don't know anything about astrology to be talking about it the way that you are. And what I mean is that before I knew about astrology, I was not like against it. I just thought it was really weird. I was like, I would read stuff like houses and planets, and I just was like, this is just really bizarre. Like, how could this really mean anything? You know, I remember being ignorant to astrology, but not being like aggressively hostile, you know, against it. But people are like, when people are like, oh, it's just really foolish and it's stupid, and like, it makes me just feel like, you're not that bright. It's no disrespect. I mean, it's really no disrespect to people that are not informed about astrology. Again, I was once people, like, that's me. I was people. But people that are vitriol, or they just virulently, like, aggressively angry about it, that concerns me, because how can you be so angry about something that you don't know about? Like, it's crazy. Like, I can say with all sincerity that I have never met anyone that actually knows how astrology works, like, that really knows how astrology works, that's like, I hate it, so stupid. Like, it's just not It's literally not a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not a thing. If you understand it, you might be ambiguous at best. But to feel so strongly about it or against it, again, it's just like atheists being really angry that you believe in God. And I'm not saying that not all atheists are angry that you believe in God, but I'm talking about the ones that are angry that you believe in God. Like, what? Like, what? Yeah, like, go stay in your lane. Like, stay in your non-believing lane. Like, I'm not angry that you don't believe in God. Now, okay, there are people, the opposite. But me, myself, Lauren, I'm not going to argue with you about it. And people that like, oh, I hate astrology. I hate it. It's usually, I would venture to say almost always comes from a lack of information about what it truly is. And that's fine. Like, it's okay. Which is also why I don't talk to skeptics about astrology, because it's exhausting. It's exhausting, and I have a lot of respect for people that believe things differently than I do. I don't know what it is. God, who I believe in as well. God has graced me with a heart and a mind to be able to accept that there are people who do not believe the same things that I do. Now, I'm not saying that I've always had the greatest acceptance. It has been difficult for me in the past when I've tried to have intimate relationships or really close relationships with people who thought that the spiritual world or God or was just hogwash or, I'm not saying it's easy, but I will say that God has given me the vision, the ability, and the grace to be able to understand when I don't know what I don't know, and also the grace to forgive and also try to understand people that are coming from very different perspectives and backgrounds than me. It probably helps that I am multiracial and multi-ethnic and multicultural in my actual family of origin. So I never really had the choice to only know one thing. I never even had the choice to only know one region, of the country. Even that was like multi-regional, so I'm thankful. But I say all this to say that, I don't argue with skeptics. I'm not mad at skeptics. I'm actually completely okay. Astrology is a tool. It is a tool. It is a system for reading energy. Even astrology is subject to how we perceive things personally as the astrologer or as the person interpreting the astrology. Nothing is set in stone, just like energy, the world around us, the galaxy, in constant flux, constant change. Change is the only constant. And, I'm not sure what caused me to get into such a TED Talk today about this. But, I will say that in terms of like people that are skeptical or people that range from ambiguous to outraged over astrology, like, it's totally fine. I will judge you a little bit if you're outraged, but I don't dislike you. But there is no need for us to have a discussion about it because the information is available to you. And the information that I share with my clients or with my loved ones or with my friends, my friends and my loved ones, the information that I share is to help us. The information that I've taken for myself is to help us expand and grow as human beings. And you can receive guidance in all different types of ways. For me, my belief in God and my focus on astrology is not mutually exclusive in any way. For me, it goes God first and everything else after. And so I believe that my talents to read charts, to read cards, to read people, situations, the way that I view the world, and I'm able to interpret the world through my studies, I believe they're all gifts from God. And so I'm so thankful for it. Yeah, it's not my job. It's not my job to convince people that are diametrically opposed. It is only my job to share the information that I'm given with the people that are meant to hear it and meant to receive it. And that's my TED Talk. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Thank you for coming. All right, y'all. That will be all for today. I hope you guys have the best rest of the week. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe and rate and do all of that good stuff. I will catch you guys next time. Bye.